Welcome to my madness, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Marvel Legends Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Miles Morales. You know, I wasn't sure I was going to pick this guy up when they first showed the pictures of, you know, this figure and some of the other figures when they kind of actually leaked out. Very cartoony looking. Wasn't sure if I really wanted him, but the more I kept seeing pictures and stuff, the more I knew I at least wanted this one. Okay, I love Miles Morales. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and Miles is a really cool character, so I went ahead and picked him up. So here we have him. He's on the kind of retro card style, sort of, I guess, modern retro card, whatever you want to call that. And it does look really cool. Now, obviously, the downside of this is, as you can clearly see, no Build-A-Figure. He only comes with an extra head and a couple extra hands. And for what they're charging for this, which we'll go to at the end of the video, it's kind of a ripoff, in my opinion. You're not getting a lot of plastic here for the money. Honestly, you're really not. But the card still looks cool. So, and of course, then we got the back of the card with the rest of the figures on the wave in here. It is, you know, it is a good-looking package. It is a good-looking package, I'll give you that. So, let's go ahead, crack this guy open, and see what we've got inside. All right, so we got them out of the package. We'll take a look at accessories real quick first. Not that there's much to look at, but we do have a couple of thwip hands here, which look pretty cool, but not really much going on there. And then, of course, we do get the Miles Morales head there, which actually looks pretty good. I dig that. Good hair sculpt, good face sculpt. Looks just like I've seen in the trailers. I think they did a good job there. So we get that. That's it. And then we have the figure itself, and I think he looks pretty good. I'm not sure how I feel about the blue on Miles. I don't know. The blue thrown in, I mean, it is kind of a throwback to, you know, the original Spider-Man costume. I get that, and it doesn't look bad, but I don't know. I just don't traditionally think of Miles' costume having blue on it, I guess. But it looks cool. You know, you got the parts there on the legs with the nice texturing. You got that right there on the abdomen, on the arms. Everything looks good. The logo there on the chest is well done. Everything looks good. I mean, I dig it. You know, you've got the stripes down the side, stripes on the shoulders. Head sculpt looks great. Eyes look great. You got the texturing there on the front. Kind of got a little shine to it in the light. Spider logo on the back looks really good. You got some texturing down there on the boots, on the suit. I mean, it looks nice. It's a good looking figure. It's very skinny compared to standard Marvel Legends, which we'll do some comparisons. You'll be able to see that. But it's a good looking figure. I dig it. I think they did a good job with the paint. I think they did a good job with the sculpt. But let's talk about articulation real quick, because I've heard there's some crazy articulation on this guy. It is pretty standard stuff as far as most of it goes, as far as Marvel Legends. So you've got double jointed elbows, which are pinless. Double jointed knees, which again are pinless, and you do get good range of motion on those, so they do look good. You know, you got thigh swivels and bicep swivels and standard shoulders, no butterfly joints or anything like that. You've got the ab crunch, you've got a twist at the waist, head is on a ball joint. It does have the disc hinge kind of up in there, which I do prefer. Where I've heard this gets kind of crazy is that ab crunch there. Let's see, I haven't done this yet. Yep. There you go. I mean, look, it's good articulation. Look, they even brought the paint up there underneath there, but he can get a crazy pose there. I don't hate it. It's something else, but you know, you're probably not gonna pose him in any crazy positions like that, but it will do it, I guess, if you want to. So, I mean, I'm not gonna hate it because it's there, but damn, it's He can pull some moves there with that ab crunch, but no, all in all, I mean, I like it. I think it looks good. It looks very reminiscent of, you know, the character. Sculpt's great, paint's great, articulation is great. I don't really see anything not to love here, so let's go ahead, throw him up with some other figures and see how this guy stacks up. All right, so obviously we got to compare him to some of the other Miles Morales figures that I've got in my collection. So we've got a few of them here. So of course, here on the left-hand side, we've got the Gamerverse figure that we got a year or two ago. I can't really remember when that one came out, but this is a great figure. And then of course, we got the old school Walmart exclusive with the old ball joint hips, and he's a little bulky looking for Miles, but Still a really cool figure, but obviously it is this figure here from the first animated movie that we got that is the best comparison to kind of see the differences in these two. And I think the differences are perfect. Now, I would have loved to have gotten just a regular costumed version of Miles in the first wave that we got for the first movie instead of with the shorts and tennis shoes and the jacket and everything. But we got this, and it's still a really good figure. I like it quite a bit. But it is nice to see him just in the costume, just as Spider-Man without all the other stuff there. But I like even that the new one is a little bit taller, the head's a little bit bigger. You know, you can tell some time has gone by between the first and second movie, so he's grown a bit. And I think they did a really good job here. And even just the head sculpt on these two, they didn't just reuse the head sculpt from the first movie. It's completely different head sculpt. Even the texturing on the costume itself is different. I think they did a really good job here. It looks really good, and seeing these two next to each other works really, really well. And you can kind of see the change between movies and how Miles is kind of advanced in his becoming of Spider-Man. All right, of course we got to compare him to a Peter Parker version of Spider-Man with what I believe are the two best versions of Spider-Man we've ever gotten. Of course, on the left, we've got the animated version, retro carded Walmart exclusive. On the right, we've got the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man from that 2-pack. And I like that, obviously there are aesthetic differences here because this is an animated version. Just in the style that those movies are done, very, very different from either of these two figures. But, Miles should be kind of a smaller guy. He's smaller, he's younger. You don't expect him to be as big as Peter Parker. And even if you're putting a display together where you're going to throw some of these, movie animated figures together with some of your comic book characters, I think it still fits really well. All right, let's talk about price here real quick. And this guy goes for $25. So the question is it worth it? And I would say, yeah, it is. Look, despite the fact he doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure, despite the fact he doesn't come with very many accessories, just a couple extra hands and an extra head, it's still a really, really good Miles Morales figure. It looks exactly like the animation. It's just good. I mean, even with the crazy ab crunch on this thing, it's a really cool figure. Wasn't really digging the blue there and that kind of stuff with Miles, but I really like it, and there's a good close-up of the unmasked head sculpt, and it looks really, really good. And I gotta say, yeah, I think it's worth it. I don't have a problem paying $25 for this guy. I know it's a very small figure. There's not a lot of plastic here. You don't get accessories, none of that stuff. I get it. I hear all the complaints, but when I get this figure in hand, I don't really have anything to complain about. It's still a really good figure. It was really, really well done, and even if it would have been nice for the price to get more stuff, the figure itself is done perfectly, and I really can't complain about that. It would be nice if we were still getting, $20 figures from Hasbro, but we're not, and that sucks. But here we are, and the question is, are you willing to pay the entry-level price for a Marvel Legends for this guy? I am, and I think it's worth it, and I'm glad I picked this guy up, because I think they did a great job on this. It's a cool figure. It's going to look great on the display. Just makes me more excited for the movie, and honestly, what more could you ask for? So that's it, guys. Would love to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you have it? If so, what do you think of it getting it in hand? Would love to hear that from you guys. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it as always. And always remember to enjoy your collection.